Hi guys, it's David, and welcome to another episode of Right to Politics, Sunday edition. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the shooting that happened last night in Portland, Oregon. So there was this caravan of 600 plus cars from the Trump campaign that were kind of going on a little tour. They decided to stop downtown Portland, Oregon, and the Black Lives Matter rioters, the media refuses to call them rioters, which they are. They're not protesters, and they're not really peaceful protesting, but they decide to stand on the road. So basically, the Trump supporters were shooting like paintball guns at the protesters to get them out of the road. And the Black Lives Matter rioters were throwing, rocks at them. And basically, when everyone left, there was a man who was part of a religious branch of Trump supporters. And the thing is that, this is how wars start. Not only are Trump supporters, which I am a Trump supporter, but not only are they just vocalizing their opinions, I mean, to go directly into Portland, Oregon downtown, where there's been 3 straight months of riots, and just like show your support for Trump, I would say it's not a good idea. Although you have the right to do so, it happened, but the gentleman who was shot was from the Trump side. No matter how much our country has gone through, you have to understand the Civil War started in the same way. There were people on both sides who were extremely proactive on their beliefs, so much that they started these small battles right before the Civil War, in fields, just because they were so angry at each other over slavery. It is not something that should be happened, but the Portland, Oregon mayor, the Portland governor is refusing to bring in the National Guard and federal agents because he does not want Trump's policies to be afflicted on them politically, although those people are there to save lives. And when you put lives over policies, that's when you're basically a dictator. That is when you're someone who doesn't care about the loss of life. And as you're watching the news, you hear, someone was shot in Portland and they happen to be a protester. No matter what side you choose, whether it be the Republicans or the Democrats, it's not a good thing that we can just watch the news and say, oh, well, that's sad. And it's just like a police shooting. When the police weren't even involved, and these things are continuously being marked as police shootings when it's really, Republicans versus Democrats. Back in 2019, they said we hate each other, but not enough to start a civil war. But everyone is literally shooting each other right now, and it's not something that should be swept under the rug. Now, the media wants to sweep it under the rug because who wants to talk about that kind of stuff on the news? Like, hey, listen, the tensions are getting hot leading to the election. A couple protesters on both sides die in neighboring cities, but it's exactly what's happening. So, number one, exactly 10 arrests were made for this whole incident that happened last night. And, they say defund the police, and, everyone's chanting defund the police. But the thing is, the police are not even arresting people for arson who are setting fires all over the United States. And I'm saying this, as a Republican, and it's different if there's 600 rioters or 900 rioters and 100 or 200 police. That is when you do not need the National Guard or federal agents, but you need the military. Because these guys are on a frenzy of violence, and they're really actually killing people and citizens. And the only way it can be stopped is with the military. It seems ever clear. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to like, post, and subscribe, and we'll see you on another episode of Right Politics.